addiction, the first thing that comes to our mind is cigarettes, maybe, alcohol, or drugs, even. But there are so many other kinds of addiction that people deal with on a daily basis. A simple example that comes to my mind is addiction to the phone. Then you have food addiction, you have addiction to prescription medication, and so much more. What we all believe is that addiction is a habit, and people just, you need to stop, you need to get over it. We never ever stop to think that this is probably something related to your mental health. Hoopsters brings to you The Beautiful Mind, a series that is planned to help simplify mental health for you. We do this through real life experiences and with chats with experts. Our first series is called If They Can, You Can. The idea is to bring to you real life stories of people who have dealt with mental health issues, be it anxiety, depression, addiction, body image issues, whatever it is, and have actually come out on the other side. We share their journey with you through just 20 questions. In today's episode, we talk about addiction. What happens when you get addicted, and what can you do to get out of it? We have with us, we have with us today Tejas Sweeney, who is the director of Rainbow Art Preschool, and she talks to us about her addiction to sleep-inducing medication, her journey through it, and how she decided that enough is enough. Hi, Tejas Sweeney, how are you?
Hi, Nupur. Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. It is really, really important to bring these subjects out, and I'm glad that you've come out to answer our questions.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share it.
All right. So, are you ready for your 20 questions?
Yes.
All right. First question: what, according to you, is addiction?
Addiction is more about psychological. I can or I cannot, I don't know, can call it as a sickness, psychological sickness. So it's everything in is your brain. The brain is asking for the drug, not your body. So it's more about psychology.
When you got into taking the sleep-inducing medication or whatever medication you were taking, what was the situation around you?
Situation in the sense like you're saying like why I started.
Why did you start? Yes.
I didn't thought when I started to take the pills, I thought I will go into that so much. I didn't thought that I get addicted. I didn't even know what is addiction to the pills till I understand that I was completely inside. So first I took it as a regular medicine for my allergy, so for the dust allergy, and I have no idea when I was completely captured by that medicine.
So, what was your first experience when you took the first pill ever? When you took the first medicine ever, what was the experience like?
See, whatever drug you take, it makes you relax. The addiction, what you call it as with the drugs, especially with the drugs. The first experience with the drug is always to make you relax and sleep. Maximum people who are addicted, they are like having, they're insomniac. So without the drug, they cannot sleep. The first experience, it made me sleep, relax, and I had a very fresh morning for the first time.
Did you at any point realize that, okay, I'm addicted to this? When did you realize that?
Realized about I'm getting addicted?
Yes.
Yeah. See, when I was taking it as a relaxing medicine, it was an excuse that I'm not getting sleep, so I'm taking it in the night. And when I started taking it like in the morning and increasing the dose, okay, you're taking one pill in the night, it makes you sleep. And it went for 2 and it came in the midnight, you wake up and you want the pill again, and again early morning you wake up, you want the pill again, in the afternoon you don't want food, nothing else, you just want only those pills and the medications. So the kind of dose what they gave for the body, it was like completely out from the world, which was very dangerous.
So when you were at your peak, okay, how many tablets or doses were you taking in a day?
In a week, you're asking me in a week, I was so
No.
worst addicted to that. I'm saying per day I used to take 6 to 10.
Okay.
It
And
was
did your
extreme.
family know? Did your family know that you're taking
Nobody
this
knows it. I used to hide pills.
Okay.
I used to sneak in the washroom to take the pills, and they never know that I was taking this.
Can you think of any crazy experience that you had while you were?
Oh my God, it goosebumps thinking about the crazy experience. You know, whenever I think about the days, the 6 months of addiction, what I spent, I feel like, oh my God, I could, like, no, it's a nightmare for me. You know, with this addiction, I developed a kind of dementia. I was losing my memory here, like very quick. That means you need to think a lot to recall just what happened 2 minutes back. So my daughter was 1.5 years. I have a daughter of 10 years old now. She was 1.5 years, and my husband was at office. He came back at 2 o'clock. I don't know when I slept. I just remember my daughter on the bed. That's it. After that, I don't remember anything. He came and he said, "Where's baby?" I was like, "Did we had a baby?" I was like, "What is a baby?" I just forgot that I had a baby, and I was like getting panic. And he asked me, "Where's the baby?" I said, "What baby?" So after 15 minutes, I realized that yes, we did had a baby, and the baby walked out from the home, and she was playing in neighbor's home. That's the scariest thing. I will like, I cannot even imagine that happening again.
So you knew that the medicine was troubling you or the medications were harming you, but you still took them. What were the excuses you made to yourself?
Extreme. Sorry, I didn't get the question. Come again, please.
So at some point you realized, right, that these medicines are not good for me. But still we sort of make excuses to continue taking them. What were your excuses?
Excuses are very the same common with all the poor people who are addicted. Like we are in love with it, so we are happy. We feel good. If, I mean, like it's so simple. It's funny if I say that. Like you love a person and you are not happy with the person, you cannot break up with them and you cannot live with them. The drug happens the same way. So
Okay,
you
that's a good
want it,
comparison.
but you don't want it. So finally, you end up taking it.
And did it at any point occur to you that, you know what, I just want to quit? I'm done.
Yes, the day I decided before that, I was thinking like this is not good for me, but I couldn't leave it. I couldn't decide because I don't wanted to leave it. It was giving me a lot of happiness. I don't wanted to leave it. And the day when I decided that this is not the happiness, it's poison what I was taking, you know. Yes, I decided one day, and after that I never touched it. Till now it's almost 8.5 years. No.
And what was the kind of effect it had on people around you?
Definitely a lot of bad effects, you know, because emotionally, uh, like they were like suffering a lot. For me, I just take the pills, I'm fine, I'm in my world, I'm like sleeping or maybe I'm quiet. But my parents, my husband and my small kid of 1.5 years, where I was like, she really needed me, and even my in-laws, entire family was confused at what's wrong with her. They were doing their level best to figure out what's wrong with me, but I was the one who was just happily enjoying the time, and my family was suffering around.
So what are some things that they noticed in you? I mean, because you were relaxed, you were quiet, you were not having your bouts of depression. What was it that they noticed about you that was wrong?
They, my mom asked me once, "Are you taking anything? Are you taking any pills?" I said, "No, mom." Then she even checked, you know, in my cupboards and all. But I used to hide it in my clothes. What clothes I'm wearing, I used to pin it that medicine in my clothes, or else I hide. You know, it's my home. I know where to hide it. And they thought that I'm possessed or maybe I have some depression. They took me to the medical psychologist also, but even the psychologist, they couldn't figure out what's wrong with me because I didn't open up. I just told them, if you take me again to the hospital, I'll commit suicide. You know, all this drama I did because I don't wanted anybody to know. I made my best to hide these things from my parents.
Okay, and were there any physical changes in you during this time?
During this period, I was getting a minor seizures,
Okay,
and my sight was completely gone. I can say that 80% blurred sight, and the speech was also like I was stammering. So what I'm talking to is still the effect I have. You know, sometimes I stammer when I'm talking because of the drug effect. Even still, my eyes are not very clear. I use glasses or lens, And I lost a lot of body weight, and hemoglobin was very low, and I had a lot of medical issues. And on top of that, forget about the physical things, emotionally also I went into depression. It's like I completely lost my head. I
Did you
I
think
lost.
did you think of seeking help? Maybe meet a counselor or a doctor or a
I
therapist.
thought of, but I couldn't have the guts to go and say anybody, because I thought that, see, until unless you're not wrong, you're not scared of anything. Where this situation, I was feeling I'm wrong. If I say
Mhm.
anybody, they'll take me to doctor, and doctor will tell my parents and my husband, and they all will blame me, and they will call me addicted, or maybe I don't wanted that label on me. I didn't had the guts, because for me, I thought nobody will accept me. You know,
So, mhm.
so I didn't had the guts to go and say somebody that please help me, or maybe what can I do for it.
So when you decided, okay, I'm going to quit, what was that one driving factor, or that one thing that really motivated you to go for it?
So my own body, my own life motivated me. Not even my daughter, not even my husband, not even my parents, no one. So where so it's so blessed to have what we have today. We are like able people. We are like fit. We have very good system going on. After all this poison, what I have stuffed in my body, but still, fortunately, it's working. I thought like people are fighting with all the difficulties. Where I was in that period, I was working with mentally challenging children. I used to see them. I used to see their parents. Even when I used to work physically challenging children. So I decided like, why am I spoiling my body now? Because there are people that are trying to fix their bodies where they don't find disabilities as a disabilities. And what I'm doing, I'm making my abilities as disabilities. So it was just moment of 30 minutes. I sat in front of the mirror. I looked at myself. I was looking like some demon or something, because of the drug, my all this bones were like popping out, and my eyes were like red. You cannot imagine the face I had was so scary. Even myself looking at the mirror was so scary. So I decided I'll not touch it again. So I did it for myself. I decided to be selfish.
Are there any regrets that you have?
Yes, I have. Because I made my family suffer a lot. Till now, I kept them in the darkness. Till now, they think that what they don't know what happened to me, and my ex-husband was blamed for no reason. He was so much helpful in that period. Of course, I'm single mom now, but we have a good parenting relation. But in that period, he was feeling so guilty that he was thinking that the reason of depression is him. He was trying to figure out. He was asking me, and my mom, she was thinking, did I do something? And all my family thought they are the reason of what I'm suffering with. But to be frank, it was me the reason who made my life like that.
What are some myths about addiction? What are the wrong thoughts that people have about it?
It's very, we have like common things like, oh, addiction is something you can leave it if you want to leave it, or else it's like it's very difficult to leave it. You have to hit the rock to leave it. Or people say that once you are addicted, you cannot leave it. There are lots of myths. So we keep on giving these things to each other.
According to you, what is the best way to come out of it? What is the best solution for it?
The force from inside you. So as we all know, the force inside and outside for the egg. If you break the egg from inside, you have a life. If you break the egg from outside, you kill a life. So addiction is something you made it for yourself. Nobody forced you to do. So you know how you feel when you take the drug. You know how you feel when you stop the drug. And only not a doctor, no rehabs, and no counselor, and not even the person like me who is sharing, oh, I did this, I did that. But maybe what other person who is addicted, they feel is different. What I felt was different. So all I can say is like, only you can help yourself. Think about what you're doing, be selfish.
And what is life like today for you?
So blessed, happy, surprising. See, that day I was seeking help. I was something like, oh my God, I cannot imagine what I was today. Today I run a school, two schools, and I deal with very small children, and I'm balanced emotionally, and I can deal my problems. And when there are many people, they come to seek their help for the mental problems, or maybe they are like people like consulting me for a lot of problems. And yeah, I feel good and happy for the decision what I made it. Otherwise, if 8 years back I wouldn't have made a decision of going from that, maybe today I wouldn't be here. Maybe I don't know what would happen to me.
Okay. Thank you so much, Tejaswini. That's the end of our 20 questions. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for sharing your journey with us.
Thank you so much, Nupur. It was nice time with you.
For anybody who is watching this, who has heard her story, if you have any questions, please make sure that you send them over. We have all the details in the captions below. Also, if you want to share your own experiences, or if there is something particular that you want us to cover in our series, do let us know. Thank you so much.
Do you have an inspiring story like this one? We would love to hear more. Share your journey on info@hoopsters.in or log on to www.hoopsters.in. Get a chance to be featured on HoopX TV and HoopX Talks.